All right, what I've done is I've gone and drilled all my recessed holes all the way around the table. I built a little thing to hold it up. And right now I am putting on my copper and nailing. I'm drilling using a centering bit, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm knocking that in, and then I'm drilling the holes a little smaller than 1/8 inch. I'm putting 1/8 inch rivets in it, and I'm alternating washers, and because I have a big hole where the head just doesn't quite fit, it goes right through it. So that's what I'm up to.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper.
This has been, oh man, my wrists are killing me from this drilling. Wow, 72 holes per section, 6 sections, 350 holes, I don't know. Anyway, a lot of holes, a lot of rivets, a lot of washers. I'm on my box, my third box of washers, and only every other one gets a washer. So there's 250 washers or something. Anyhow, I'm gonna do a slow motion of my very last one. I'm just finishing up the first from the last one, but I'll do a slow-mo just to kind of show how much effort it really takes to put this doggone stuff on. All right, so here it comes, the slow motion. Got some new stuff today. I got a plunge base for my Porter cable router, and I got a router inlay kit with a couple bushings, some spare bits. I got a bow tie template. Can you see that? And so basically what I'm going to do right now, I've got some gaps forming on the back side of some of these. This is the bottom. And so what I'll do is I'll make some little bow tie joints under here. And then I'll practice on this side and then flip it over and make some ornamental ones on the front. I'm gonna use some of this walnut that I have here. So it'll be a real good contrast of colors. I just need to plane it down. I wish I could resaw on my bandsaw, but it's kind of a piece of crap. It just, you know, it's about the lowest budget bandsaw you can get. But it's not adequate for that. I mean, it's pretty good for cutting out corbels and, you know, shapes and like my gears, big gear stuff. But as far as getting to, you know, any kind of accuracy on resawing. Now, I did see something about guys cutting the part out of a thick piece, not, you know, maybe a quarter or a half inch deep on the bit, and then they take that wider piece and they put it vertically on the table saw, and when they saw it, that little, the half inch or the 3/8 or whatever thickness you make just plops out. So I think that's probably the technique I'm going to use. I watched about every router video I could find on YouTube. You know, that seems like it's going to work for me. We'll see how it turns out. Stay tuned. Alrighty, I have finished the bow ties on the bottom side. They came out pretty good, actually. You know, and I'm trying to fix some cracking and whatnot with epoxy, but man, that is clean stuff. They're coming out pretty perfect. I'm really happy with my template. It's a little hard to use. trying to get it to stick to the wood with double-sided tape. Here's my screw-ups. There's all my screw-ups. For one reason or another, the tape didn't hold and it slid. But yeah, I've been cutting them out to whatever depth they need to be, and then I'm ripping it on the table saw, and what comes out is I just rip all the little pieces off of it and they fall right out. So that's kind of cool. I'm using this type of double stick tape that I use for matting photos and whatnot, but if I put enough of it on there and clean the surface really well, it seems to work. So I'm going through more wood than I anticipated, more walnut, just because I'm screwing it all up. But I might go to the next size larger on the other side of this. It's starting to get really heavy. Hell, it is really heavy. Now, if it decides to go one way or the other, I am screwed. Alrighty. Now I have a plan. What I did was I filled the knot holes with epoxy, and I was going to do a darker stain on them. I'm sorry I did it now. Got this one. It's all white. I was going to just darken it up with some stain, but in some of these little cracks here. But I found a guy that was doing some guitar work. On the back of his guitar, I don't have a link for him or anything, but he inlaid turquoise with epoxy. So I have 2 bags of turquoise showing up tomorrow. So I'm going to attempt to Dremel out my epoxy that I've put in here. I know this is taking a lot more time than I thought it would to build this table. I haven't even gotten to the gears yet. And oh, what a nightmare. I was trying to find, went to a couple hobby stores trying to find a shaft and a flanged bearing that I could use, because this is going to get a lot more use than just having a pin on raw wood. So I wanted to put bearings on it. Anyway, I'm trying to get a shaft that has threads on the bottom that I can screw into my aluminum plate, which is now looking like brass, and put a bearing on it. I had no luck. I've been to some bearing sites, but oh my God, the catalogs are overwhelming. But I guess that may be the way I have to go. And I only have about 10 days to get this done if I want to be at the anniversary party for it's a Steampunk anniversary party, and they've already told me at Rocket Republic Brew Pub that I can put it on display there, maybe even put a for sale sign on it. But anyway, I'm trying to hustle, but that's going to be my downfall, is not being able to find a bearing and a shaft. And I probably won't get this video posted in time for anybody to give me suggestions. But if I get this posted before, you know, like the 12th of March, hit me up with a suggestion. Or if you've found one for me, that'd be even better. All right, thanks. Gonna keep plugging away at this. I'll probably set the camera up so you can see one bow tie process. It's pretty lengthy, but I've learned some tips on YouTube and also by doing them. I've done 6, not a big experience there, but I'm working on it. Okay, onward and sideways. Okay, the first thing that I did is I set the depth. I've got my second bushing on here, because you need the outside bushing, the additional bushing, to do the inlay portion of it. I've got this cleaned off, but I'm going to clean it off a little better. Here's my template. I'm going for the extremely large one. So let me get this cleaned off and I'll get some tape on it. I want to have adequate tape so it doesn't move, because if it moves, I'm screwed. All right, now carefully set this in place. Okay, push down firmly. Well, that was a messy job. So the next step is to remove. Wow, that was really on there. That's good. Remove that guy. Let me clean this up with the vacuum a little bit. Okay, I missed a couple little spots, but that's okay. I have to chisel them out. Take a sharp chisel and just get the little high spots that you've missed. I've got a wider bit for this to clean out the center, but I just didn't really feel like changing out bits. Clean out the bottom a little bit. Okay, now it's time to clean the corners. They're kind of rounded, as you can see. I think you might be able to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this square to the side and just line the tip up to where it looks like it's going to be even. Yep. Has to be a pretty sharp chisel. And then on the piece that's going to go in here, what I've been doing is rounding that bottom corner a little bit, just so it can, if I've missed in any way. This is nerve-wracking because if you screw this up, you screw it up. And then you get a line, a chisel mark that you don't want to see. And of course, lighting is super important, and that's why I'm having a hard time doing this at night. Hey, any little nubs left? I should have used a much wider clean out bit, but it's all right. 1/8 inch is pretty tiny to do that big surface. Maybe I'll try it on the next one. I'm not really sure why going around the outside perimeter got a deeper cut than the rest of it, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to look pretty cool. Yeah, it's going to look good, and it's going to be strong. That's the main thing. Well, as my day starts to come to a close here, I've finished the 6 bow ties. They're deeper than the back ones because I want more substance. Unfortunately, my light is dwindling. I've got these doggone, lights up top here, but these 3 are burned out. And they're really not worth even messing with. They're not, the bulbs aren't burned out, it's the ballasts, because I already put bulbs in them. You see, as this stuff dried, I jumped the gun. Let me back up. I jumped the gun on this. I really wanted to get this thing put together, so I put it together and it wasn't quite dry. So I bolted it from the bottom side, and here you can see I've got some cracks, even filled with epoxy. They're continuing to crack. So I think what I'm going to do after well, the bow tie should keep it from doing that anymore, I hope. Shrinking, but I don't know. It's going to be a test. But I'm thinking of cutting a 1/8 inch, just following it, a very shallow cut with the router on each one of these joints. What I've got coming is that turquoise to fill these holes, and then fill this and this with the turquoise. But that's part of art, right? Is just experimenting and playing with it and seeing what looks good. So I guess for right now, this video is getting kind of lengthy. Maybe I'll do the boat. I don't know. But in the event that I decide that this is the end of this video after I edit some stuff, as usual, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, pass it on, share, like, all that good stuff. Hopefully this is moving rapidly enough and it's not too boring, and I'm showing you a little bit of what I'm doing on this thing. So chat at you another time. Thanks a lot, and wait for the next episode. Bye.